All right, it's Bill here, and here's my reaction to a 2-0 Game 6 victory for the Toronto Maple Leafs to force Game 7, and miracles do occur. Now, from my understanding, the word that I was looking for, someone put it in the comments, and then my coworker told me, canonized. Now, I asked for Matthews to get a hat trick. I prayed, dear God, I prayed. I did all that praying, and he got a goal. And considering that's his first goal in 10 games against Florida, I should be on the path to canonization. If they win Game 7, let me do my prayer right now. God, it'd be really cool if you could let the Leafs win Game 7 and also have Marner and Matthews show up. That would be awesome. There you go. I've got my prayer in. I'm feeling fantastic. Hope. This is very Leafy. The Leafs have always got to Game 7 except for one time when Florida took them out in 5. They're down 3-1. They get to Game 7. They're up 3-1. They get to Game 7. And has anyone looked at the Game 7 with this team's record? 0-5. Sainthood. Let's get into the game. First of all, I think the majority of us, by the way, this is my trailer. I might have some people walking through. It was awesome last night watching the game. It's the first time I watched the game. I had my daughter and my wife watch a game with me, but had a whole bunch of buddies watching the game with us. Hugs, couple beers, had a good time. And then also, let's talk about miracles. I got to do golf today. That's why I'm a little bit late on the video. We were going to do the video last night. It was so dark. I'll figure something out for Sunday. I'll get some lights up here. We'll get a goddamn disco ball going on, and we'll do a video with a whole bunch of people in, and they can give you their opinions too on Game 7, win or lose. It'll probably be a good time. It'll be a way better time if they win. But so anyways, and then I got up this morning. It was supposed to rain all day. It's supposed to be thunderstorms. No way I'm going to go golfing. And at 4:30 in the morning, I woke up, thunderstorms going. Disappointment. I'm not going to golf. And then it was blue sky at 6:30 in the morning. Perfect. Got a round in. Got a birdie. Miracles. I hit a putt over 8 feet. Miracles. There are miracles occurring right now. There's hope. H-O-P-E. Hope. Anyways, let's get in this game. First of all, we expected, I think the majority of us expected, the Leafs to fold up like cheap tents. And I said to the guy that I was sitting with, actually, we're going before the game. We're setting up the game. I thought the game started at 7:30. It started at 8 o'clock. Okay, it's past my bedtime. Look at me. I need my beauty sleep. But 7:30, the game starts, and all of a sudden I see Jennifer Botterill. And of course, she might be the worst announcer in the history of announcing. But my one buddy said, it's different. She hasn't been on the entire playoffs. We need different. We need something different. So we put it on mute, and it worked perfectly. It was different. The Leaf game started. We said in the first couple shifts, we'll know if it's going to be, they showed up. And I'll be honest with you, in the first couple shifts, I didn't know what to think after the first couple shifts, but it didn't look like they gave up. And as that first period went on, they played amazingly. Even penalties going their way. Now, Florida Panthers, I know you guys have been really troubled with the penalties. I mean, you guys the refs have been totally against you the entire series. I don't know if you Florida Panthers fans can stand by. You knocked out our goalie and you elbowed players with no calls. But tonight, I got to tell you, the refs were totally against you. Like, it was just poor. How do you hook a guy with one hand on your stick? Explain that one to me, please. How do you hook a guy with one hand on your stick? Hook. I don't care how strong your wrists are. I don't care if you're a power builder or lifter. Try to stop a 220 player with one stick on your hand. Now, why do you have one stick on your hand and why'd you get beat, Carlo? But that's not a hook. And what was the first penalties? There was a tripping call. That was a horrible tripping call. The guy stepped on our stick. I think that was Ekman Larson and Benoit for interference. Give me a break. Because Florida played the game immaculately. I mean, they did no penalties. They didn't hold up. They didn't do interference. I mean, I'm a Florida fan. I'm baking at those referees. They were terrible last night. The Leafs had 2 calls go against them, and they killed the penalty, and they were good penalty kills. And at that point, in my head, they're going to at least give it. They're not going down. without a fight. That's different. That's different. It's very Leafy to win the game. But they're going to go down with an effort. And then the second period occurred, and Florida took over. And it started to get very eerie to game 4. The puck wasn't leaving our zone. A lot of one-handers, a lot of sticks. Mitchie Marner with the sticky stick. Didn't throw a hit, sticky stick. I thought Marner was awful, by the way. I thought Boitano was terrible. We still won. But Boitano surprisingly didn't show up. He was not bad on the, I say he's terrible. He was good on the penalty kill. I apologize. He was good on the penalty kill. Jonathan wasn't horrible. He was battling. He couldn't get to the puck. We'll talk about Max Pacioretty in just a second. But the Leafs were there. But that second period, oh, God, we just sat there. No, get it out. They're screaming, get it out, get it out. That was the entire period. We were just trying to survive. I don't know what the shots on net were, but if you remembered my video, I said the only way the Leafs are going to win is if our goalie stands on his head. And Wall stood on his head. Hope. If you see Wall's record in games where the Leafs can be eliminated, it's outstanding. The only reason we lost to the Bruins is because he got hurt in Game 6. And Samsonov let in 2 horrible goals in Game 7. Hope. Wall. Hope. And as the second period ended, we just go, would you have taken that? You stand back and you go, 0-0 game. Would you take that going into the third? I remember one time Pat Burns said before Game 7 against Detroit, when Borshevsky tipped it in, if you told him at the beginning of the series that we were going to overtime in Game 7 with a chance to win, he would have took it every time. You go into the third period, something's got to change, something's got to happen. And it happened. Now, I thought Matthews was better. There was more compete. Even with Marner, there was more compete. But Boitano can't play in the playoffs. You had Nyes, a warrior, get hurt and still keep playing. That's a warrior. That's warrior. Benoit laying out Marchand. Awesome. But in that third period, they made the mistake. Forsling and Ekblad couldn't happen to 2 better people. And Ekblad hands the puck over after a pass from Forsling. And Marner picks it up. Boitano didn't, the first time in the entire game, he didn't do a flip backhand pass. He actually just passed it to Matthews, and all of us just shoot it, and he shot it. It was a bat. That's why he's got a wrist injury. It wasn't a good shot. Right between Bobrovsky's wickets. We needed a goalie to stand on his head, and we needed a lucky break. And we got it. Matthews scores, hopefully. Hope. I mean, a lot of hope. This could be what turns it around. I don't know. You got a 1-0 lead. And how much time was left? I think it was about 13 minutes in the game left to go. Yeah, about 13 minutes. And as Leaf fans, 13 minutes can be an eternity. 13 minutes could be a 60-minute game. If you remember the Bruins, what's happened in the past. But I thought the Leafs shut it down really, really good. And then you got a little break with their pinch at the blue line. And how in the world Max Pacioretty gets behind a guy, I'll never know. Max Pacioretty behind, McMahon with the pass. Bam, in the net. 2-0. Max Pacioretty with a goal. Can you believe Max Pacioretty with a goal? And there was still 5 minutes left, and no one, as Leaf fans, you're not sitting there going, this game's over. And then I witnessed one of the best things that I've ever seen. Sam Bennett took out our goalie, and now Sam Bennett took out their goalie. That was awesome. I don't think that's like, okay, not only am I giving you hope, but I'm going to give you something to laugh at. Domi takes it to the net, somehow no penalty, and Bennett goes in and hits his own goalie in the head. This is awesome stuff. The only fortunate part is Bobrovsky actually kept playing. But wouldn't that have been the best if he concussed Bobrovsky and concussed both goalies in 2 games? That would have been like some kind of karma. Well, by the way, also on this one, Florida, Matthews got a high sticking penalty. Matthews got sticked right off the draw, in the face, underneath the visor, not on top of the visor like Aaron Ekblad's. In the model, Aaron Ekblad, what does he think he is, Nev Campbell? Or no, it wasn't Nev Campbell, Naomi Campbell. Out of here. His neck's got to hurt. Matthew, stick right in the face off a draw. Like, everyone's looking at the draw. It means all eyes are on the draw, and they missed that one, but they caught the Matthews one on right after. The refs were awful tonight. Who were the refs? Garrett Rank and John A. Bear. I don't know. At least they weren't Kevin Sutherland. And if they put Wes McCauley ref in Game 7, I might snap. But that was a horrible call. That could have gone against the Leafs. What was that? In the second period, and they still killed that penalty off. And then Ekblad got an interference after that. It was just perfect. Anyways, the Leafs win. I would probably keep this video a little bit small because I'm at the trailer and there's a lot of people walking around. They're probably looking at me saying, "Why am I talking to myself? Who's this strange guy over here having a chat with something?" Anyways, I did the video. I'm pumped. It's Game 7. 0-5 in Game 7. Joseph Wall's 3-1 in games, and he's got great. Come on, Leafs. I could use a sainthood. Saint Willie the 10th. No, I'd be Saint Willie the 17th, just to be Wendell Clark. Put Wendell Clark in the mix. Come on. Again, we'll do a video on Sunday. We'll get some lights here. You'll have a lot of reaction. I'll put some other people in the video. Cheers.